Hi, I'm Rachelle. Welcome to All Is Well with Rachelle. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I'm a faith-based life coach. I'm a mother of five and a grandmother of one, and I'm a widow of suicide. And today I wanted to share a few thoughts on allowing grief. I've mentioned before on this channel that I feel like the American culture does not allow grief. We really don't know how to grieve. Truly, after my husband died, I realized that I didn't know how to grieve. I didn't know what was supposed to happen, other than there was just this intense pain, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I've journaled a lot through this experience, and I wanted to share with you from August 2022, which was not even 3 months after my husband died. I talked about that I felt like it had been a summer of sadness for my family as we grieved the loss of my husband, Tyler. And I said, I still cry every day, and usually it's the ugly cry. But I'm trying to allow all the crying and all the feelings and not push them away. Because of that, I'm allowing all the feels and encouraging my kids to do the same. Sometimes I feel like I experience every emotion in the space of an hour, from despair, sadness, anguish to confusion, anger, and resentment, and then back to heartbreaking pain and sorrow. I know many of you have experienced grief, so you know what I'm talking about. I've never experienced this level of harrowing grief, and I can say in a word, it's exhausting. And something that I have seen and read many times is how parents are worried about expressing emotion in front of their kids. My daughter even mentioned that she'd heard some of her friends say before that they'd never seen their mom or their dad cry. And again, we realize it's not because these people have not ever cried and don't ever cry. It's because we're not comfortable displaying emotion in front of each other, and we're worried that it's going to damage them somehow. And I even saw an article hinting to that maybe it would be damaging to the children. And then I saw one that's totally the opposite. I believe it's healthy for my children to see me cry. Now, with that said, I don't do the ugly cry in front of them because I don't want to do the ugly cry in front of anyone. And the ugly cry is kind of scary. That's why they call it the ugly cry. But I think it's totally healthy to cry in front of my kids when something happens and that bubble just bursts again, that one that's always right here in my throat and just waiting to burst. And it's okay. And it's not scary. And it has invited a lot of really good conversations with my kids. And because of that, we can keep living our life. And in this journal entry that I mentioned, I was finding reasons to be glad and grateful. Definitely not easy. But I took my kids out on the Snake River, and we kayaked and paddleboarded and swam with the current, and it was absolutely beautiful. And we got to this part where there was a sandbar just in the middle of the river, and there was probably 25 pelicans, and they are just standing there on the sandbar, and from a distance it looks like they're standing on the water. And we just took that in and soaked in the sunshine and just realized this is a beautiful moment. And at the same time, I'm sad. I have grief, but the world is still beautiful and there's still so many good things. So this grief is a part of my life, but it doesn't mean that I have to stop living. It doesn't mean that I will curl up in a ball and hide in the corner and not ever do anything with my kids again. For me, it means that I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to be there for my kids, and I'm going to cry, and I'm going to feel all of these strange emotions, and we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep living our life and hope that as time goes on, we'll understand this grief better. But for right now, we're really supporting each other and allowing the grief. And that's the most important thing I want to share with you. Grief is okay. Allow grief and allow those around you to grieve whatever it is that they need to grieve, because you can't hide from grief. It isn't going away because it's a part of our life's experience. It's something that we need to learn, we need to experience. So allow grief today.